One, two, three, check, check, check.
Mic check. 1 2 1
One,
2
two, three,
1
check,
2
check,
3.
check. Check, 1, 2, 3, check, check.
Check check 1 2.
Five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10. Check, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay, Darren, 1 to 10, please.
1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10.
Welcome back to the PFF National Training Center dito sa Carmona, Cavite. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm reporting to you that nagka-power outage po kami dito. And because of that, the play was halted for a few minutes and now the players have been allowed to warm up once again. And this isn't unprecedented in live sports coverage. If for those who would remember, nangyari na to dati sa Super Bowl of all places and back in Super Bowl 47. So, dito sa Pilipinas, we have now had our Super Bowl moment. Ako po si Paulo Del Rosario alongside with Darren Hartman. This is a matchup between the ADT, the Azkals development team, against Kaya FC-Iloilo in the finals of the Copa Paulino Alcantara. And so far, it has been a relatively cagey affair before we stopped the play. It was Kaya that was a bit more on the attack, but then still both teams with the same problems, unable to find that key crucial pass to really carve up a great opportunity. But then you have to feel that that break might have made things a bit more difficult for things to handle. As we take a look at some of the players to watch here for ADT. So parang balik tayong pre-game because it feels like we're starting again here, Darren. Take a look at Sandro Reyes, the player that came from the Philippines, homegrown siya, moved on to Spain for a while, played in Barcelona for quite some time, played in the Escola of the FC Barcelona, and should be a key factor in this game today, and has been proving so far.
Well, he was just getting warm into the game, getting into the tempo of the game, and you can see just from such a short highlight reel just how influential Sandro Reyes can be on the football pitch. I mean, he can score goals as well, and he deserved to score that goal. And I'm sure now there will be a lot going through this young man's head. And of course, this is a really, really big moment in his career. Yeah, he's played at the top level in the Escola program, but this would be his first senior trophy.
And of course, sa kabila naman si Joven Bedic ng Kaya FC Iloilo. He is a forward, at least listed as a forward, pero yung laro niya hindi talaga pang that real front man, that real number 9. He plays a bit differently, a bit more dynamic, needs someone to support him. But then here for Kaya, he's playing the role of the prime threat dito sa Copa Paulino Alcantara.
Yeah, and he's getting better at doing it as well. You can see in this Copa Alcantara that he is, the go-to man. He stepped up when they needed him against Cebu as well, just tucked away that penalty nicely in the dying minutes of that game. And I think he's had quite a bright start here. He's been kept at bay a little bit by Rontini, who's been marking him very, very tightly. But we were just getting warm, Paolo. I mean, the game was really starting to open up, starting to flow. And now with the number of minutes that we have left in this first half, it really changes the dynamics of how the players and the coaching staff handled the last few minutes of this first half. It's almost like in training where you're given, like a 10-minute set. Will ADT go all out for 10 minutes, or will they just play safe and try to take it home to half-time at 0-0? We know they're very difficult to break down. We know especially when it comes to the first half, they haven't conceded for a long time. But of course, Kaya are the experienced team. They will be the ones dictating the tempo, I am sure, as soon as this game restarts.
So right now, we're getting word that the match commissioner has decided to move the game on to halftime at the moment. So we're now at the end of yung first half natin after play ended midway through the first half. We're going to get more updates from you very soon, but we're going to figure out whether or not how much time will be played. Kung we'll move on to the next 45 minutes and add on more time from there, or whether or not we will find ways to come up with the right time according to the match commissioner to do this first half. And no, right now we're getting another report here that we will continue the first half as we see all the teams lining up here. So we'll get a confirmation of the time for you, but the most important number of all is that 0-0 pa rin between Kaya and ADT. Kaya in all black for those just joining us, and ADT in all white. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is a bit strange in terms of the occurrences. Again, a power outage in the middle of the first half has forced us to adapt here. And kahit kami ni Darren, dito nag-a-adapt kami. We're getting all these reports about the current status of the play. But here we go once again. We are finally back. Kaya FC on the ball and giving straight back to ADT. So the question is right now, who stayed warm the longest? Who is still in the mood? And we're going to find out in the next few minutes.
And of course, when something like this happens in a game of football, there's no advantage to either team because the same event happened to both teams. And it's really going to be about mentality, how players adjust, how they see this game, and what they're going to do over the next couple of minutes. Are they just going to build themselves back in, or are they going to try to pick up from the tempo which they left at?
So we ended play with 18 minutes in the first half. So the coaches and the commissioners have agreed that they will play the 18 minutes plus added time left. So that is how much time we're going to set on the clock for you in just a bit. So still a lot of time here to be played dito sa first half. And again, thank you very much for bearing with us and adjusting with us, because at the end of the day, we are going to find out and crown the champions of the Copa Paulino Alcantara. And just like everything happened in the pandemic, pa-start-stop lahat, and here we are going on once again.
I mean, it's more than just a game. I mean, it's live sports and it's about entertainment. And, I mean, all those little things add up to the magic of the moment of a cup final. And if this cup final is known in 10 years' time as the cup final with the power outage, so be it. I mean, it's a fantastic game of football, and ADT look like they're coming out sharp.
Now moving on the right side, that's where they've been most dangerous, and a chance here for ADT, but this time off the mark. Again, one of the smallest guys on the field getting his head to the ball. That's Eric Gallantes. He did score the winner in the semifinals for ADT with a header in extra time. Pero ngayon, off the mark.
And of course we can see, like we mentioned earlier, it will be Kaya dictating their tempo. I'm sure ADT will want to push to the half-time and keep the tempo high.
Kekonet. Daniels kicking that forward. Bedic trying to find De Broica. De Broica has it. trying to hold possession against a couple of white shirts and wins a free kick instead. So at the moment, we're still trying to fix the timer here for you, but right now, around the 31st minute mark of the game. Again, still 0-0 between the two teams.
It's been a good 0-0 though. I mean, in terms of ball movement, it's been exciting, and it's just really about now creating those chances in the final third.
Actually, during the break, in the middle of the darkness, you can hear players saying, stay awake, stay awake, stay warm, stay warm. So let's see who has done that in the next few minutes. A chance here for Kaya, headed away, but the danger not completely away just yet. And I'm not going to lie, Darren Pateoko, I'm trying to hype myself up here in terms of energy just to get everyone back into this as Mardiano clears that away for ADT.
Well, it all comes down to experience for these players. I mean, Kaya definitely had the louder voices when the lights went out. I mean, it's not just the lights that can stop the game. It can be rain. It can be all sorts of conditions that can lead to the scenario we found ourselves in.
So that is the proper time, by the way, that we are now showing around the 32nd minute of the first half. Again, this is the agreed upon time after the play was halted due to the power outage. And again, for those who have bared with us and still with us here, thank you very much for joining us. Of course, we have a lot of people watching from all over the Philippines, so many stakeholders dito sa Philippine football. I know that even though Harvey Gayoso is not playing, that the Gayoso Ocampo family is actually very much in tune with this one, hoping for a trophy, as well as the rest of the families and friends of every other player here in this group and those involved as well. Chance now for Kaya, though, to draw first blood once more. Another free kick in a dangerous position. Played high. And a chance there, but just beyond the post.
And that was close. It's a great delivery into the box. Just hung up nicely onto the far post. And fantastic leap, getting it back across the goal, but just drifting wide of the post. It's Daiso that's just lifted it in. Floated in.
And Menzi just at the face of goal. Nakita natin yung shadow on the post. That's how close it was.
And I think these are two of the teams with some of the biggest followings in this professional setup. ADT, I feel, are the neutral fans' choice. They represent the country when they play at under 23 level. And of course, you've got Kaya, who are the long-stay team here in the Philippines. They've been around for a long time. They've got a huge fan base. They've projected their football into the AFC level.
And Darren, right after that power interruption, it feels like both these teams felt like they needed to inject more energy. And this may be actually the most frantic part of the game we've seen so far.
Well, these teams are both fit. And I mean, it's one of those things where if you give them a short break, everyone's going to recover. The interval training is so important as a top athlete, especially if you're a football player. These guys, if you say 18 minutes, they can work for 18 minutes.
So the game has opened up for both these clubs. Again, we had one chance for ADT, a couple for Kaya. And now Kaya on the attack once more. Rio Fuji giving that back to Masa Omura. Now giving it to Rota. Rota trying to lift it up for Daiso, but the ball bounces out. Again, it feels like the break has unveiled a new layer of Kaya FC. Parang mas attacking na sila ngayon after that break. More aggressive, trying to take the game to ADT. You could see that in the way they press here, actually.
Yeah, they're pressing higher up the field, and also, I mean, with the experience that they have, they probably felt that they could keep themselves mentally in the right place when the lights went out. So it's going to be a really good last 10 minutes to this game, 10, 11 minutes. And ADT on the break now.
Owano trying to free up Chung once more, but gives it straight to Casas instead. Again, that final ball, yan yung problema ng ADT. De Broica. Benilik kay Menzi and kay Mitchell. Mitchell, the towering center back. The guy who basically decides where Kaya's going to play, what part of the field they're going to play in. Angeles, benilik kay Mitchell. Mitchell surveying the field. Weighing his options, plays that forward. This has been probably the most dominant stretch of Kaya in the game so far. Again, on the attack, this time making inroads on the right side. ADT being asked questions and now have to defend the corner.
Yeah, and it was that time, looks as if Kenshiro Daniels was able to get over to the right-hand side, create that little overload with Daiso, and that caused a few problems there for ADT, but they were able to get bodies back. You see, Galantis is just caught out of position there, and then it's Custodia that has to come over and put an all-important left foot on the ball to put it out only for a corner.
Daiso Hirokoshi standing over this one once more. Just a while ago, Odi Menzi so close to scoring the opener dito sa final. Outswinging corner expected from Kaya. Again, all the towering center halves there inside. Kaya. Not that time as ADT. Unable to clear that too far away though. And a chance here. Danger once again for ADT. Again, the clearance not too far away. It's that little bit of experience and a little bit of inexperience rather, and a little bit of panic there that kept it deep within their own territory.
Well, I always felt that Kaya could do this. When they do play at that slightly higher tempo, we saw them do it for glimpses against Cebu, but not consistently enough. When they do it, teams are having difficulty adjusting in terms of their positional, getting in the right areas when they're defending.
Sandro Reyes could not keep it. And Kaya complaining there, saying that Sandro delayed the play with an extra kick.
And I think that's the second time he's done it this game as well, and I think this is exactly what Masa Omura was saying there.
Fuji playing that ball forward once again to Daiso Hirokoshi, but this time Gallantes wins out. That has been a mini duel in the matchup between Kaya and ADT. Last time around, it's safe to say that Daiso won out in that matchup, considering that he did get a goal and most of the threat from Kaya in their first matchup came from Daiso. Let's take a look at Mitchell there, who has been a rock at the back for Kaya.
Yeah, Galliantes is doing really well because in the first game he was playing as an out-and-out left back and Daiso got the better of him, but now he's playing left fullback, having to cover more ground, and he's able to go with Daiso. Great, development on a personal level for the left winger from ADT.
Owano now trying to make inroads by himself on the left side. He has Rota and Mitchell in front of him, and he still has the ball. Trying to find Chung though, but then Mitchell, right place, right time. He doesn't have to put in the crunching tackle. He just has to do it simply like he did there.
That's just Mitchell being Mitchell. I mean, I keep saying right place, right time, so I'm just going to say now that's just Mitchell being Mitchell. Fantastic defender. And this is a chance.
Bedic with Diano in front of him. Great stand there from Diano, forcing Bedic to give it back. But a chance here for Kaya to recycle possession and make things a bit more difficult. He's onside, says the referee. The game has definitely opened up here, Darren. Mas exciting ngayon, yung attacking is from end to end. And the question is, which defense will crack first?
Well, these really are the two teams which have set the standard in terms of, playing football, moving the ball at a good tempo this cup competition. So if you're at home and you're watching, you've got players like Diano that have come through one pathway. There's lots of other pathways to get to this level, but this really is the standard you should be striving for.
Foul there against Kaya, trying to win back possession. So Rontini getting the foul there. Angeles the culprit. Mardiano will get us restarted here. Gives it back to Camarad. Now around 5 minutes left on regular time. It'll be interesting to see how much added time will actually be used here.
Yeah, that's really one up for the officials, but I'm sure during the break they would have had a little chat about it. I mean, it's not something that happens every day in a cup final, is it?
Sandro Reyes recycles possession, gives it back to the center backs. Naman si Diano. Back to Bias. Bias playing that through to Chung. Chance here for white shirts, offering a threat, and Chung decided to go by himself, but too many Kaya players right in front of him. Kekkonen trying to keep the threat alive, gives it back to Custodio.
And if you remember the game against Stallions, it was that combination, that overload between Bias and Chong, which actually created the goals and the opportunities.
Kekkonen. Diano. Sandro Reyes playing on the turn. Good feet there, now releasing to the left side, but perhaps might have played it forward instead.
I think he's got a shoot there. Good build-up play by ADT, matching him. But now Kaya on the ball with Bedik.
Bedik trying to lift that over Camarad, and what a clearance off the line! ADT still alive!
Wow, well, I was just about to say ADT had played themselves back into the game, and then all of a sudden, Kaya on the attack. It falls to the man that they want the ball to fall to. He's got the composure, just goes to lift it. And who's that making the tracks back? It's Diano with the heroics, bicycle kick.
And Mar Diano, if you remember, just last year in the PFL, he was the guy who made the mistake to allow Kenshiro Daniel to score first for Kaya against ADT. And now, the hero so far for ADT, making sure that it is still goalless here at the dying moments of the first half.
And that has all come from a great play from ADT, where I thought that Sandro Reyes should have got his shot off. Even if it's on his weaker foot, he's got the ability to do it. And you've got to take those chances against a team like Kaya, because if you don't, they can punish you that quickly. End-to-end stuff here.
That ball lifted up by Bedik, it felt like it's lingered up in the air for an eternity, and the guy who was there first, Mardiano, boy, what a play. Definitely the highlight of the first half by far. You may be talking about that more than the blackout right now, Darren.
I think so, and we can see that there's going to be an extra 4 minutes of added time, so the referees have made their decision. And, I mean, I don't want this first half to end, really.
Gallantes playing that off, a Kaya player. So ADG staying firm defensively. The question is right now, can they find the right attacking move? Now, Kaya had the best opportunity so far, but can they fashion more? Menzi with the acrobatic clearance. Kaya. They would feel that they deserve to be 1-0 up. But then again, the heroics there of Diano made sure it's still scoreless. Now trying to find inroads on the left side. De Broica trying to keep it away from Bias, but Bias wins it. Battle for possession there. Kekkonen comes away. Kekkonen pulled back there by De Broica. Referee saw that right in front of him, and an easy yellow card to give out.
Yeah, that time ADT were on the counter-attack, and De Broica just opting for the professional foul to slow things down.
So let's take a look at this again. So Kekkonen getting the better of De Broica, and De Broica really with a professional foul there. In fact, his shoulder just went straight into the jaw of Kekkonen. Right now, a bit of a break in play here. Referee making sure everything's in order. And ADT get us rolling again. All right, so that will actually now be the final whistle. The referees changed their minds from making it 4 minutes to just a single added minute. And right now, we are confident that we can give you the right time on the screen, on the graphic, in the second half as we get things started once again. But what a first half it has been. So many highlights, so many talking points. Everything from a goal line clearance there from ADT. Great chances fashioned by Kaya, and ADT having chances of their own. But still, the balance still poised here. So much to play for between these two sides. And Darren, this is the final that we have all hoped for.
Yeah, and especially those last 18 minutes, it really has been high tempo. I mean, the game started well, but it took time to really build into the tempo that we would expect in a cup final. But when it came, it really came. And there were some really good chances from Kaya. Well built, well constructed, finding quality into the box as well.
Thank you all for coming today.
It's just been a good half of football.
Well, here are the chances, the catalog of chances that Kaya had as we take a look at that both sides here actually had opportunities, but then Kaya definitely the more obvious ones, the better ones, the more clear-cut chances. And this is the moment, really, that should have put Kaya ahead, but then Mardiano not giving up on the play, going there and making sure that it's cleared off the line. Honestly, one of the most acrobatic plays that we've seen in quite some time in Philippine football. And when we return, the second half between ADT and KFC. Welcome back to the Copa Paulino Alcantara final here between ADT and Kaya FC. Still 0-0 between the two teams here. Ako po si Paolo De Rosario alongside Darren Hartman calling this one for you. And para sa lahat ng mga nagstay for the entire duration, even past the blackout, thank you very much. And for those who just came in, thank you very much as well. So kung titignan mo yung numbers in terms of like the shots and shots on target, not a lot there. Pero Darren, it's been an up and down affair for both these teams in this matchup so far.
Yeah, I think Kaya have enjoyed longer spells of pressure, really bringing the game to ADT. But ADT have had their moments as well. But at the moment, I would say Kaya perhaps creating the better of the chances. Of course, those heroics from Diano, I'm sure they will be replayed over and over again, keeping ADT, not just in this game, but also in this cup final.
No substitutes here for both these teams, as Kaya now playing from left to right of your screen. ADT going the opposite way. Kaya in all black with their yellow trim and ADT in all white. Again, this has been a matchup that has progressed to become more exciting as it went on. Sa simula, medyo cagey, trying to find each other out. The center backs were honestly more on the ball than the forward players for majority of the game from both teams. Pero ngayon, more attacking verve on both sides and immediately looking for Daizo on the right side. Angeles still trying to keep that forward. And immediately here, Kaya on the attack, pressing high, moving forward here, attacking that right side. Daizo working on Gallantes again. That has been the duel to watch out for, and that time, Gallantes wins possession.
Yeah, and that's just one of those things when it's a 50-50 ball, it's always going to go in the favour of the defenders. Gallantes with his handful, though, with Daizo. Daizo's come out very sharp this half. We'll be looking to lead Kaya from the right-hand side.
Rota played that forward. Daizo tried to give it to Angeles, and a foul at the back, so ADT will have a chance to relieve some of that very early pressure. Wala pang isang minuto. Grabe na yung atake ng Kaya on that right side. They want to punch early, and they threw a jab.
Well, that goes to what I was saying to you at half-time, thinking that the teams would come out, you know, with a slightly slower pace and try to pace themselves through this very important 45 minutes. But Kaya have had other ideas at half-time. They're going to keep the pressure, keep on trying to test ADT and get those balls forward as fast as they can and try to, you know, capitalise on their experience and their movement up front.
Camera lifting that forward. Masa Omura just lofting that to Rota. Now back to Daizo. Back to Omura. A little 1-2. And Gallantes has to stop Daizo once more.
And then Troy Limbo just tidying up there like he has done in the first 3 games for ADT. One of the unsung heroes, really, of ADT. Puts loads of work in off the ball. And he's just smart at just knowing his timing and when to nick it and make it difficult and break teams up.
Rota lifting that forward here. Oh, and that trickles in. Kenshiro Daniels getting the better of Mardiano. Just a moment ago, we were singing the praises of Mardiano, but he was the man beaten by Kenshiro Daniels. Let's take a look at that again.
Yeah, that really is a goal from nothing. I mean, Simone Rotta's just lofted that into the box, hopefully. I mean, perhaps the goalkeeper there could have claimed that. I mean, when the ball is so high, you're letting it come down. He's just physically put himself there, put himself into a position. Didn't really know a lot about that, Kenshiro Daniels, but at the end of the day, a goal is a goal and they're going to take it.
Well, that fell right in front of Mardiano, and it felt like Daniels just flicked his foot in between them, and there you have it.
FC-Iloilo, number 10, Kenshiro Daniels.
And all of a sudden, ADT now have to go on the attack.
And it's a very similar story to what happened in the first meeting between these two in the very first game of the Copa, the very first game of Group B, where it was 0-0 at half-time, and then Kaya just found a way to get 1-0 up. Again, in the second half, and ADT now are going to have to try to stretch the game if they want to. There's still plenty of minutes on the clock. There's still, you know, just under 40 minutes of regular play, so there's still time, but I'm sure this young ADT side will want to try to stretch Kaya a little bit and make some space.
Rota. Again, he lifted that ball way up there for Kenshiro Daniels just a moment ago.
I mean, it was just good old-fashioned percentage football. I mean, Simone Rota found himself on the right with very few options, put the ball in the box, and Kaya got themselves in. They were physical, and they forced something from it.
So the question is right now, how can this Kaya team keep this an ADT team down that will be forcing the issue moving forward? Will they keep on pressing, or will they find ways to just contain them and frustrate them and attack them on the break?
I think they would do it through football. I think they would try to keep the ball moving, make it difficult for ADT to settle. And of course, when they defend, keep it nice and compact. But they are going for ADT. Perhaps they feel as if they can open them up.
And another chance there almost, and the clearance was poor, but fell to a white shirt instead. Sandro Reyes now operating on the left side. Could not find Eric Gallantes, who was trying to make inroads on the left. A bit wayward there, and right now, you're going to test the youth of this ADT team who would want to strike back as quickly as possible. Camera there to collect.
Yeah, they really have to be mature now. They have to make good decisions on the ball. They need to know when to go, when to do it collectively. And of course, Kaya, perhaps now, of course, they're 1-0 up, but really in the driving seat because they have the experience. I think a lot of people out there who are watching would say that if Kaya went 1-0 up, they would be able to hold ADT. But of course, I'm sure that ADT will want to do something about that.
Daizo now attacking Custodio, gives it back to Masa Omura. Angeles. Bedic trying to play in Daizo, pass too strong. Well, based on how Kaya has lined up right after that first goal, the way they're approaching the game, they're eager for more, trying to bury this ADT team. Owano unable to win that. Now Mitchell here to dictate from the middle.
Well, ADT were able to get themselves back into the game against Stallions. They did have to wait late in the second half, though, to get that equaliser. So let's see if they can produce something similar. I'm sure that the coaching staff are already checking to see what sort of tactical adjustments they need to make. As of now, probably don't need to make any, no need to panic. But I'm sure we will see changes in the next 10 minutes.
Great control there from Daizo, but then Gallantes there to win it out. Just a shirt pull there, just to stop any form of break. But Reyes gets us going quickly again. Rontini, now to Diano. Diano. Lofting that forward. And you have to feel, so we're wondering if they can be mature enough not to rush the play too much. And you have a feeling here that there might be, the defenders might be bypassing the midfield just a bit from time to time.
Yeah, that was disappointing from Diano. You know, understandably, he's trying to get the game forwards, but you have got to be more tactically aware. Because when you give the ball away to Kaya and they're in flow, I mean, they'll be able to open you up just as quickly as you try to open them up.
Masomura now finding Daizo. Daizo on the right side. Giving that back to Simone Rota. Angeles. Swinging that, extending the play. De Broica. At the Fuji. You talk about Kaya being in flow. And here they are, comfortable. Still looking for gaps. Still looking to secure their lead. Simone Rota, binilik kay Carla Mitchell, who has been significantly less busy dito sa second half compared to the first. That's because Kaya now playing the ball, playing football in more dangerous positions than they were in the first half.
And again, ADT just forcing the ball forwards a little bit too soon. They really do need to do it collectively. I mean, Kaya will make it very difficult to get the ball back. So ADT will have to take more care on the ball. Will have to try to create their chances, carve them out.
Montini. Mitchell just cushioned that for Simone Rota. Well, nandiyan yung experience. He knew that there was someone on him and was just able to cushion everything as if like the guy wasn't even there.
Yeah, I mean, he brings all that experience in and some. He's a good leader as well. He's a good organizer. And Kaya now just really creating a lot of overloads. Kinshiro Daniels is staying high. You've got Daiso staying high and really taking the game to ADT. And it's made a really big difference in the outcome.
Well, the question is right now, who will be the calming presence para sa ADT? Because at the moment, they're looking for killer passes that are not there. Angeles fired up, winning possession. Take a look at this again. That challenge on Gallantes.
Yeah, they've definitely changed their pressing line, Kaya. In the first half, they were conservative. They were pressing when the ball was going in their half, and now they're setting their press much, much higher up the pitch, and it's making it very hard now for ADT to play out. And I think that both Ivan Wano and Dennis Chong are getting a little bit frustrated. And of course, the more compact it is, the less space you have to play. So needs some maturity now. Needs a level head out there, as you said, just someone just to settle it all down and get them back into their rhythm.
Custodio with the header away. And again, very interesting to see how Kaya will defend now that they are attacking so quickly. Now they're attacking so high. Knowing that ADT may have the pace advantage between their forwards and the defenders of Kaya. Angeles with a hard foul there on Kekkonen. Kekkonen eager to get it back. And Redick just allowing more time there for Kaya to settle in defensively.
I think it's Kekkonen really that could step up his game. Just like we saw in the first game, he managed to step up in the second half when Sandro Reyes was introduced. That's the sort of playmaker that ADT need at the moment. You know, calm, collected, able to pick his passes, and really cannot play the game at this tempo.
Bia saved that to Diano. Great play there. Kekkonen with space. He has options. Again, trying to play things slowly. Custodio. Well, the center back making the move forward. Gives it to Sandro Reyes in the middle of the park. Bias saying that he's open.
And of course, that centre-back, Matthew Custodio, was one of NCAA's juniors' top goal scorers. So he does know how to bring the ball up higher up the pitch. He was frustrated when ADT scored the goal, and I'm sure that, you know, if he can just talk and communicate it through, get that drive into his teammates. And of course, the captain's not there for ADT without Harvey, so perhaps they're missing that little bit of seniority, and it's time for players like Matthew Custodio to really step up and lead his team.
Owano doing very well there to hold off Mitchell, but then gives the ball away immediately. Well, so far, for all the possession that ADT had in the first half and the chances that they did create, it felt like all of them were half chances so far. Wala pang clear-cut chances para sa ADT. But can that change here? Kekkonen now operating on the left side, but a lot of black shirts there just cutting off all the passing lanes. Ito naman yung Kaya. Angeles giving that to Daiso. Daiso just getting the better of Sandro Reyes. Jovin Bedic gets a foul from Rontini in a dangerous position.
Yeah, Sandro just needs to simplify things a little bit. He's a marked man, and you've got to really just try to understand where Kaya's pressed. They very quickly switched, went deep again. They settled deeper, so you just got to be aware of what's happening around you. That's a big tackle there from Rontini, and Bedic there just using his game experience to draw the foul.
So Daiso and Kinshiro Daniel standing over this one. Daiso scored against ADT rather in their first meeting, and Kenshiro Daniels with the goal to open things up here in the final of the Copa Paulino Alcantara. Three-man wall here for Camarad. Ricochet lifting that up. But then Awano there to head that down for a clearance for ADT. Mitchell kicking that forward. Bedic had an opportunity, but he may have slipped at the worst moment. There was a chance again from Daizo, just lifting that high, but then Awano there with the defensive clearance straight to Bias. Sandro Reyes spraying that wide left. Rontini, the center backs of ADT, trying to be part of the attacking play right now. They know that they need to get a goal back. This time Gallantes losing out on the attacking end. Bedic doesn't have a lot of help here. Eventually finds Kenshiro Daniels. Kinuulit ni Bias. Balik kay Custodio. And in just a while, we're going to have a substitution here for Kaya. Felionco will be checking in for Angeles. Bedic. Again, lonely man up there for Kaya. Now you're sensing a bit of frustration in this ADT team. So that little burst of energy right after the conceding that goal, trying to get back really quickly, has now died out. And now the chance is now about figuring out how to move on with this game and try and get one back eventually. Again, a lot of time on the clock.
Yeah, Kaya tried to get a second goal through their momentum. Didn't work out, but ADT were really trying to match Kaya's momentum. The game got very open very quickly. But really, ADT need to try to work and get players up the field. They are trying it, but just need to be a little bit more dynamic when it comes to that final third. It's been the same story since the start of the game. They just don't have the same combination when Dennis Chong and Ivan Wano are up top trying to link. I mean, Dennis perhaps can start drifting over, working a little bit closer with Bias on the right-hand side. That worked a few times. But really, there needs to be someone in the middle of the park for ADT that just takes control of the game and starts commanding it.
Well, you know, you look at the players on the bench for ADT and figuring out whether or not there's going to be a player there who could make a difference. I wouldn't be surprised if Borlongan will be there inserted soon just to change things around on an attacking sense for ADT. But then let's see what happens. Custodio now in the middle, now giving it back to Gallantes on the left. We're now seeing ito yung pressing style ng Kaya in the first half. Conservative, letting ADT play with their defenders. And so we saw that initial burst in the first 10 minutes or so, 15 minutes or so, that resulted in the goal, and right now back to normalcy para sa Kaya.
Yeah, and at the moment, ADT are able to, you know, rotate the ball at the back. They're getting it into their midfield, but they can't get it in and out of their front line. I mean, that is really what is missing at the moment. Of course, losing Harvey Goso in the fashion that they lost him, perhaps not enough time to adjust, but, I mean, you should adjust quicker than this. And Kaya, at the moment, with the fresh legs on the pitch as well, first to make the tactical moves. Just under 30 minutes to go. ADT just got to keep on plugging away, keep on trying to create chances.
Bias, great move on the right side. Is there a chance here for ADT coming up? Owano's in the middle. Gallantes trying to save that. Limbo, back to Reyes. Limbo. Now Custodio. Again, ADT getting more possession here, but then it's about what you do with it. Great feet there from Limbo. And Owano unable to lay anyone off there. Now we're getting confirmation that Owano will actually be leaving the pitch in just a few minutes. And in his stead, Bailey will be coming in.
And that's exactly what you need Owano to be able to do there. He's got to be able to link those attacking centre mids and get them on the ball, facing Kaya's goal.
Mitchell there to clear it away. Straight back to ADT though. So Kaya just riding out the pressure here. Even though ADT do have the possession, it doesn't feel like they're in any danger.
Yeah, Kaya, you know, showing their experience and their maturity, keeping their lines exactly where they need to be and pressing exactly when they need to press. They're going to be difficult to break down, Kaya. And ADT need to take advantage of this spell where they're enjoying possession on the ball, because there will be moments in the last 25 minutes where Kaya have possession and they will not give the ball away easily.
Custodio. Sandro Reyes. We talk about him being a marked man. Take a look at how little space that he actually has. Now a turnover. Kaya on the attack. And Bedic stopped on the run. So Jobin Bedic still on the ground here. And the substitution will now finally happen. Kanoa Bailey checking in for Owano. Take a look at the foul there by Troy Limbo just to stop the run. So Bailey's listed as a midfielder, pero he's one of those guys that can shuttle between the midfield and forward position. Very physical player, itong si Bailey. So let's see whether or not he would be a difference maker here. Definitely a relatively different player compared to si Owano.
Yeah, it brings a little bit more energy, a little bit more movement and running. Could be a sign of ADT trying to take the game to Kaya.
For those wondering, if I'm not mistaken, we move on to extra time if the game ends up tied. And then beyond that, dreaded penalties. But at the moment, it is Kaya's trophy to lose. Up 1-0. And of course, for those wondering, does ADT have the resilience to come back from a losing position? Well, they've done it already once here in the Copa Paulino Alcantara. Is there a second time on the cards here? Chung trying to dance in front of Mitchell, but Mitchell wise to it and concedes a throw-in.
Yeah, it's a throw-in and it looks as if it will be Matthew Custodio going over to take a long throw. We've seen him do this as a youngster. His Nomads days, come through the academy there.
Well, you know it's on if a center back comes all the way up to throw a ball in, and that's the reason why. It's almost like a corner. And in the end, they may have won one, and yes, they have.
Well, it's a great throw into the box. Takes a huge amount of strength, timing, and also some seriously flexible shoulders. There's a few people in the game that can do it. Of course, Anton Del Rosario used to do it so well at the top senior level. As good as having a corner, but better having a corner.
Lofted high, and Bailey unable to get that on target. And Bailey will be a different type of player compared to Owano. Question is, how will he be deployed here? That will be the question, and if it will make any difference.
Perhaps the coaching staff's thinking is try to match physically with Mitchell, try to keep him occupied. Maybe that will give an opportunity for Dennis Chong and to get running in between the spaces.
Casas with the trademark little stutter step right before that goal kick. We've seen that throughout the years. Diano. Now to Custodio. Gallantes back to Custodio. Play has slowed down here. Kaya now approaching this game more methodically, and ADT just searching and probing. Just a while ago, it felt like a firefight between the two teams, and it was Kaya who came away with a scrappy goal. Now on the right side, Chong, a bit of space here, but then 4 black shirts around him. Eventually a heavy touch means that he loses it. Reyes keeps it to Kekkonen. Now Limbo. Limbo dragging defenders with him, but then the defenders took the ball away. Great tackle there to stop the run, no foul. The ball will stay with Kaya.
Excellent time tackle there. Daze was in full flow.
Actually, narinig mo rin yung communication nila eh. Because we're so close to the action, and since walang fans and the mics are just positioned at the right place, narinig natin that don't foul, and that's exactly what happened. Mitchell trying to switch play there, but gives it straight back to Diano. Diano now, with a bit of pressure on him, gives it back to Rontini. Finding a bit of joy here on the right side, talking about ADT, but then you need that killer ball in. Bias now working on Menzi, and Menzi concedes the throw in. So sinabi nila, okay, hintayin natin si Custodio. Custodio again will throw that in. A throw intaker in the mold of an Anton Del Rosario. Again, we say we need good shoulders. I think that he had pretty good shoulders back in the day. Long throw in. Chance here, but then cleared away with a defensive header. Danger not away though. And boy, that was a very teasing ball coming from Bias, but no one could make any contact on it and just flashed wide.
Yes, fantastic timing here. I mean, the ball fell, it's bouncing a little bit. Nice and sweet, but well wide of the post. And ADT just, I mean, they really just need to be more selective with the way that they play. They need to be trying to pull Mitchell away, isolating Menzi, and then really just trying to pick little areas where they can work on. Because going down the middle and crossing the ball obviously isn't working. So they need to be better at moving the ball in that final third.
Reyes wanted the possession, keeps it, and they have another throw in. So will Custodio come up again? Not this time. As Kaya concede another throw in. So Custodio getting a lot of practice here with long throw ins. He's coming up once more. So sabi nga natin, parang corner kick yung mga throw in ni Custodio, but obviously corners are a bit better because of the angle. But then still, this could be very dangerous for Kaya. Custodio, can he finally get this delivery right? Reyes trying to keep possession, trying to keep it dangerous for ADT. Custodio going down the flank to Rontini. Rontini wins a free kick in a dangerous area once again.
And that's what ADT need to do. They need to create end products. I mean, winning a foul in a dangerous area, that's a good end product because at least you can put a cross in. And it's the two centre-backs linking up very high in the pitch. That's when you know you're playing in a cup final and you know that you've got a team that wants to win. But Kaya just matching absolutely everything at the moment that ADT can throw at them.
So the question is, can they get a head, a boot on the ball and into the net? ADT with another chance. They have been bearing down on this Kaya goal. Two-man wall here for Kaya. And the big Mitchell in the middle trying to marshal the defenders, making sure nothing goes through. Delivery is high and long. A chance here, Diano! He flashed that just a bit too high, almost made up for losing that ball that led to the goal. Good
ball into the far post, headed back down by Galantes. And that is half a chance. But again, Kaya putting on the pressure made it very difficult for Diano to actually make a good solid contact with his header.
So taking a look now at Masa Omura, who is hurting just a little bit. And again, Masa Omura, one of the veterans here, he's been playing for Kaya for a very long time. Again, you look at the number of years in this Kaya team, especially that back line and that defensive midfielder role. You have probably the most experienced back line you're ever going to find in a Philippine football team.
And of course, you know, for all of the excitement and energy that young teams bring, sometimes you do need that balance of experience, of age, and being in scenarios like this before. I'm sure that players like Massa and Simone and Mitchell have all been in cup finals and all been 1-0 up or 1-0 down. And now it's ADT's turn to gain their experience and exposure and just try to open up Kyle the best that they can.
Reyes surveying his options, gives it all the way back to Rontini. Rontini now to Diano. Operating on the right side here. Kekkonen freeing up Chung. Teasing ball inside Mitchell. Again, we say it, right place, right time. But then I think you put that right. Mitchell being Mitchell.
And every time that Dennis Chong drifts over to that right-hand side and combines with Oliver Bias, they're managing to get balls into the box.
Gallantes trying to keep possession here for ADT, but loses out. Custodio, almost a crucial mistake there. But then winning just a bit of time. Bedic on the attack this time. Kaya have been a bit quiet offensively, and a missed tackle there by Custodio. Daizo moving inside once again. They're asking for a penalty, and it is given, or is it simulation? It is simulation, and now will be a yellow card against Daizo, who could only smile. Daizo Hirokoshi, it was shaping up to be what looked like one of a great goal here. But then, here it is. We're going to try and see if we can get that for you. And just falling, and the referee said, nope, you're not fooling me.
Well, he left his leg there, just tried to draw the contact off Diano, but the contact wasn't there. I mean, the referee did book him with a yellow card, and I'm sure that people who watched the first half will also say, okay, if you're not going to give the penalty when Dennis Chong goes down, was he also simulating? So why wasn't there a card? And those are one of those debates which will go on for years and years and years in football, even with the VAR.
So back into action here. ADT trying to play out of their own half, as Kaya in the last few minutes have been on the attacking. Gallantes. Now to Reyes. Reyes trying to play that long, but then Sherman Ferlonco, the substitute, there to make sure that that did not reach its intended receiver. Diano loses out there. Ito naman si Filionco trying to go the other way. So ADT are finding ways to advance the ball, but the same question still exists. Where will the killer chance come from? Where will the killer pass come from? And so far, it has been a lot of the same from ADT offensively.
Yeah, just these that little bit of dynamics, communication, just really working with the top of your diamond, as you say, which is really the number 9. They really have to step up, and that's why number 9s are, number 1, hard to find, and when you do find them, sometimes they don't come cheap. I mean, you look at the top number 9s all over the world and the sort of figures that they put out in terms of game contribution, goals, assists. It takes a really special sort of player to lead a line. But they managed to work it out, you know, in the groups, in the semi-finals, between 2 players, between Dennis Chong and, of course, Harvey Gyoso. who was not available today. And now ADT have just got to try to find a way to break through a defence that has not been broken yet this cup competition.
And of course, when we talk a bit about how solid this Kaya backline is, and it's been proving true for most of the part. So Arnel Namita will now check in for Masa Omura, a very dynamic, a very energetic midfielder. He will be in places you don't expect.
Yeah, Amita's good. He's good at keeping the ball moving and rotating in certain areas. And I think that's something that, you know, the players in the middle of the park for ADT just need to be aware of. So when Massa's in there, Massa controls the tempo of the game. He's actually good at just, you know, picking his passes, keeping the game ticking over. Where Amita's more of a linking sort of player. So when you're attacking, you've got to know exactly where Amita's positioning himself compared to Massa. Massa's defensive position is very, very good. Years and years of experience, played at the back as well. But when Kaya are attacking, you need to know where to press Amita because it's very different.
Well, we saw a while ago that Masa Omura was having difficulty continuing with the game and finally has to be taken off the pitch. And papasok si Arnel Amita. Again, and
Substitution
one of
for
the
Kaya
more
FC-Iloilo.
dynamic younger players
Number 4,
in
Masanani
Philippine
Omura,
football.
replaced by number 17.
Yeah, from what I can see, when
Arnel
Amita's
Amita.
playing, if he receives the ball under the press, he's more likely to turn backwards. So if you play with a player that under the press is his thought process is turn backwards, keep possession, you've got to make sure you press him and you press the centre-backs, and then maybe ADT will be able to force something from that.
Well, that analysis comes with experience, and that's experience that we hope to see from ADT if they want to get back into this ball game. Bailey left a bit alone there working against Simone Rota. So they wait again once more for, who's that man? Custodio.
I think they need to try it, and I think if this time it doesn't work, they need to go back to just getting the ball on the floor and trying to create chances.
Another high ball there, and Mitchell there to collect. Reyes trying to just flick that in, and no one there to collect. All the way back, Troy Limbo. ADT knocking on the door. Reyes. Teasing ball inside. Good clearance again from Mitchell.
I was just about to say, guess who was there? Mitchell again, just read the play really, really well.
I'm running out of phrases to use to describe how uncanny it is for Mitchell to be at the right place at the right time, and it feels like he's doing it with minimal effort because he just knows where to be.
Yeah, there are a few players out there with really high IQs.
Corner in. They play it long, and that goes wide.
Yeah, when I say IQ, I mean footballing IQs. And, of course, Mitchell's one of them. I think Galantes as well is very smart. His positional play is excellent. He gets himself as well, as you said, in the right place at the right time when he's defending. And that really is key. Football's not just about running around. It's about running around and being efficient. It's about thinking things through. There are ways that you can win scenarios. And, of course, having a good head on your shoulders is a really, really important part of that.
Well, time running out here on ADT. You can see them applying just a bit more pressure. They still have options on their bench if they want more attacking players on the pitch. But then at what cost? Amita keeping possession. Dangerous area for Lonco. Swinging that in. And Daiso Hirokoshi unable to get the contact that he wanted. Now moving on the left side. Sandro Reyes has been at the heart of most of the attacking moves of ADT. But can it beat the right way for them at the right time? Bailey. Rota in front of him. Kekkonen. Flinging that to the right side. Can ADT keep it? Bias trying to get the better of Filonco. But then Filonco comes away with it. Amita. Reyes. Now Gallantes. Gallantes teasing ball inside. No white shirt there.
It's the first ball that ADT have played across the box that hasn't been intercepted by Mitchell. And ADT now with men's forward, looking to build on this passage of play.
Kekkonen. Diano now playing very forward, and that'll be a throw-in for Kaya. The door is starting to shut close here for ADT, and Kaya want to keep it that way. Take a look at this. Again, no Mitchell, but then no white shirt either. Gallantes now playing central. That's how much pressure they're trying to put towards the goal, towards the ball rather.
Yeah, it's a really good flurry at the end of this game. ADT really just trying to keep it different, keep it sharp, and then Kaya just still matching them.
Troy Limbo having to foul Rio Fuji. Around 5 minutes left and injury time to come. Again, a goal here for ADT will force it into extra time as you take a look at the foul there from Troy Limbo. Of course, trophy on the line here. Bedek trying to get his foot into this. He does, but then that'll be a goal kick. ADT trying to play quick here. Custodio. Rontini. Swing that around to Diano. Diaz is on his right. Reyes on his left. Amita there to pressure. And a foul. Amita stepped on Reyes.
That's what Amita will also give you. Just these little presses, making it difficult for players to turn out.
Playing a bit quickly here. Custodio now on the ball. Chong in the middle. Now Reyes. Reyes getting past Amita. Kicking that wide again to Kekkonen. Reyes. He has been shuttling side to side, trying to find the right pass, and so far the right pass hasn't come. Bias trying to get the better of Filionco, but it'll be a free kick in a dangerous position. Any Coach Scott Cooper coach team would be loving situations like this, a free kick at a dangerous position, because the amount of times they drill set pieces is quite impressive.
Yeah, I mean, the philosophy of Coach Scott Cooper is really seen in this team. They spent a lot of time together, and the coaching staff from both sides have done excellent. Kaya's being really well managed off the pitch.
The ball in. Danger not away, though, as Sandro Reyes lets that run out and allowing Custodio to get it. Custodio was actually getting ready to do the throw in. Whistle's finally blown. And you have to feel that maybe the time left is starting to get to ADT. Playing a bit rushed here as Kaya looking to put this game to bed. Rota playing that, trying to find Daizo, but Rontini there just to delay it. Now it's Amita. No one on the opposite side of the field, but Daizo gets to it. Daizo wins a corner. Well, a goal here from Kaya will surely end this game. Will surely bury it, put it beyond doubt. And for ADT, they are begging for just one more chance, one more shot at this. As Melisa will check in for the goal scorer, Kenshiro Daniels. Of course, Daniels taking his time.
Yeah, and that's just going to be like for like, really. It's going to slow the game down a little bit.
Janja Meliza, who did start last time against ADT.
Substitution for Kaya FC-Iloilo. Number 10, Kenshiro Daniels. Replaced by number 13, Jesus Melitza.
Kaya again taking their time here. Don't be surprised if they play it short and just try and hold on to the possession. But still ADT want to get this going quickly and win back possession as soon as possible. And there you have it. Kaya with a throw in. Is there a late twist to the tail here? Can ADT win the ball back, or will Kaya just bury them with another goal here? Quick feet there from Bias, but Rota there to just shove that away. Custodio. Not long left. There'll be 4 minutes of added time. 4 minutes for ADT to extend this game. Bailey. Custodio. Now shifting that to the right side. A lot of pressure here coming on Kaya from the midfield. There has to be a chance coming up for ADT if they want to stay in this. Limbo from distance, well wide.
That was a well-worked passage of play from ADT, moving it right to left, and then when the opportunity fell to Troy Limbo, he did pull the trigger, but unfortunately just couldn't connect sweet enough to trouble Michael Casas. And still, Kaya remain 1-0 up without conceding a goal yet in this competition. And ADT are running out of time.
Casas taking his time here. Bailey trying to apply pressure on Rota. Reyes can't beat out De Broica and Amita. Rio Fuji trying to play in Jovin Bedic, and that will be an offside. Last chance saloon here for ADT as Bedic keeps the ball and will probably get an infraction for that, or at least a warning, but no card brought out. Limbo. Around 2.5 minutes left in the Copa for ADT. Now Custodio. ADT still probing, still trying to find a way. They'll be begging for just one chance, but lose possession, and now Kaya on the attack again. Referee says play on. Bias playing it forward to Chung. No foul called. As it is starting to get physical here between the two teams. Again, a desperate ADT team against a Kaya team that's trying to hold resolute. Playing it forward now, Chung on the underlap, but then Mitchell there to clear things up. If things stay the same in a minute or so, Kaya will be confirmed silverware again for that storied club. And a foul in a dangerous position, so ADT may have one last roll of the dice.
And there you can see De Broica just putting in a really big tackle And of course, that was his second bookable offence this game, and he has been shown the red card. So Kaya will play the last 40 seconds or so. Down to 10 men. One more chance for ADT. One more chance for them to put it in the box and try to bring this game level.
And that changes the complexion if they extend this contest. ADT with the ball in. Last chance saloon here. Diano trying to save possession, but it goes out for a goal kick, and that might do it. Now just waiting and hoping for the final whistle is Kaya FC. Just seconds away from a trophy. Kaya just waiting, just holding on. This could be the final kick of the game. A bit more added time. And now Kaya just hoofing that forward, waiting for the whistle. And ADT is there one last desperate push. Again, a man down, talking about Kaya. And the ball. And there you have it. Kaya FC-Iloilo, champions once again. Copa Paulino Alcantara Cup champions. It is safe to say that they have been the most dominant team this season. The most dominant team in this short cup. We wondered whether or not rust would be a factor because it has been months since any of these boys have played. But then once all the cards were drawn, Kaya FC have proven that they are top of the class. ADT doing their best to try and stop arguably two of the brightest stars, one of the brightest stars of Philippine club football, but in the end, falling short at a key moment.
Well, it was a great game of football. Kaya went into this game arguably the favourites. They started the competition so well. I mean, they had already beaten ADT in that first game, but it was really about the development of ADT. They took everything to Kaya. They tried everything. Yes, the result improved a little bit from the group, but when it counted in the big moment, it really was the experience of Kaya that got them through. 1-0 to Kaya FC-Iloilo. It was a great game, and I'm sure that ADT will feel disappointed, but I think at the end of the day, Kaya are the true champions.
Kaya FC there celebrating, and Mardiano inconsolable. He had that mistake in the 47th minute that just allowed Kenshiro Daniels just to flick the ball past Camerad. It trickled in, and after his heroics in that first half, you'd have to feel that there is a whirlwind of emotions going through that young man.
Yeah, it's never easy to be the player who feels that it was his mistake, but you have to remember, Mardiano, when you watch this back, your heroics at the end of the first half is what kept ADT in the game. You should hold your head up proud. The whole of ADT should hold their heads up proud. That's the future of Philippine football there, and this is the current AFC Champions League. They've come back in, and they're a fantastic side now, Kaya. They will most certainly be the standard to beat in upcoming leagues next season, next year.
Well, the motto of Kaya, or what the fans chant, and what they chant is Una, Una, Kaya, Kaya. And on this day, nauna ang Kaya. Kaya FC, the champions of the Copa Paulino Alcantara. And when you have a team that has been dominant all throughout the years, despite all of the ups and downs of Philippine football, all you can do is tip your hat off to this club, to this team, to this group of players who have kept the standard as high as they possibly could each and every year. And this is just rewards for them. They were champions back in 2018, and it's sweet to be champions again in 2021.
Yeah, well, 5 teams came out this time round to battle out the Copa Paulino Alcantara Cup, and it was, well, a fantastic phase of games. Stallions played their part, Minjola played their part, of course the newcomers Cebu FC played their part, ADT did as well, but there can only be one champion, there can only be one team that lifts the cup, and that is Kaya FC, they showed everything. They showed that they could battle through a game when they needed to against Cebu. They showed that they could counter-attack. They showed that they could be patient. And of course, they also showed that they can force a goal when they need to force a goal. And it's been a privilege to call the game here with you. I've enjoyed every kick. I've enjoyed every passage of play. ADT will look back. They will feel hard done by. Perhaps they had enough to try to pull it into extra time.
Again, here's the moment that Kenshiro Daniels got the one and only goal of the game. He was being backed up by Mardiano, and as he fell, he saw that little glimpse of light, that little passage to sneak that ball in, and right after that, it became a more physical affair as ADT tried to force the issue with every single kick, with every single possession. A barrage of set pieces, throw-ins that were more like corners. But in the end, it was Kaya FC who rode all the pressure and just reminded everyone that they are still top of the group, top of the class, the standard bearers of Philippine football, alongside, of course, the club that isn't here in this Copa, United City FC. And if they are the standards to live up to, and with the fight that the young stars of ADT have shown, well, it looks like Philippine football has a bright future up ahead.
Well, we're most certainly moving in the right direction now. Yeah, COVID has made it difficult to build momentum, but when these teams came out, they certainly found their stride. And Kaya FC setting the standard, and ADT, I feel, stepped up their game, comparing them from the first outing when we saw them last season debut in the PFL League to where they are now. It's been just a really, really good journey for ADT. And of course, for me, Kaya FC, deservingly now preparing themselves to lift the trophy.
Well, as we prepare to do that, when we return, the awarding ceremonies for both the individual awards, our runners-up, and of course, our champions, Kaya FC Iloilo. We'll see you then. Welcome back to the Copa Paulino Alcantara Final 2021, where we are just moments away at seeing Kaya FC-Iloilo lift the Copa as champions, as we recognize the match officials and in just a bit the individual award winners as well. And of course, ADT will get the runners-up medals in just a bit as we take a look at the match officials who took care of a really physical final, especially towards the end, Darren. And it should be interesting to see how things progress from this point on, especially for the young players of ADT and, of course, champions once again, Kaya FC Iloilo.
Yeah, I think all the games in this this cup competition have been well officiated. Not too many talking points when it comes to surrounding the referee's decisions, which is always a nice thing.
So now let's take a look at ADT as they collect their runners-up medals. Well, as you can see on their faces, not a single happy face there because no one likes settling for silver. But then the future is bright if these are the future young stars of Philippine football. Again, so many great names there. Gayoso, Kekkonen, Gallantes, Reyes, Rontini, and so much more. And you just have to wonder, what is the limit for these kids? How far can they go? Based on what we've seen so far, it's just as an exciting story as what we've seen here.
Yeah, it's a real talking point to have, you know, a young team who represents the country at the highest level competing in the domestic league. It's worked in other countries, and it's just, you know, a real privilege for these boys to be able to go out and continue their development. I mean, we need more youth professional development programs here, but at the moment, this is the standard. If you want to try to break through and use, you know, the PFL and the Copa Paulino Alcantara as a stepping stone, this is the team that you want to try to get yourself in, because they will develop you and they will be patient with you, and you'll get your moments in front of the camera, and you'll be able to bring pride to yourself, to your club, and to all of the academies that help bring you to this level.
Well, it's in the name, development. And we are seeing the development of the future stars of Philippine football. And of course, in just a bit, we're going to see more champions take the stage.
At this point, we proceed with the individual awards for players who have made the season a very exciting one for everyone.
So individual awards are coming up next, of course.
Golden Boot Award. May we call on the competition's top goal scorer, who has been a constant threat in front of goal.
The Golden Boot will go to a player that we all hoped would have featured here in the final and might have made a difference.
Jersey number 14. May we call on Harvey Gayoso.
And Harvey Galloso gets a hearty applause from his teammates. Again, he could have made a difference here today, and fans would have expected that, but then injury came biting at the wrong time. Harvey Galloso has done this so many times at the collegiate level, and he has now shown us that he can elevate and compete amongst the best professionals in the country.
Yeah, he's had a fantastic competition. Couldn't add to his goal tally today, but it wasn't needed after banging in 5 goals against Mendiola. And of course, his team did miss him today.
Conceded goals in the competition. Ladies and gentlemen, from Kaya FC-Iloilo, wearing jersey number 25, may we call on Michael Louis Casas. But not the least, the Philippine Football Federation awards the Golden Ball to the player which has inspired his team throughout the course of the season. May his leadership on and off the pitch continue to serve as an inspiration to all football players and fans. Ladies and gentlemen, from Kaya FC-Iloilo, wearing jersey number 7, may we call on Joe Bennett.
I'm actually curious, where will the 8th of February become still here? How do you get fans? Anything you get fans in?
Now may we call on the 3 individual awardees for a photo opportunity in the middle of the stage. Thank you very much, gentlemen, and congratulations once again to the individual awardees. And now, it's time to call on the champions of the Copa Paulino Alcantara 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, may we call to the stage the following. Number 1, Zach Manzon. Number 4, Asanari Omura. Number 5, Camelo Takusalme. Number 7, Joven Benedict. Number 8, Marwin Angeles. Number 9, Eddie Giganto. Number 10, Kenshiro Daniels. Number 12, Patrick Asare. Number 13, Jesus Beliza. Number 14, Rio Fuji. Number 15, Marco Casambre. Number 17, Arnel Amita. Number 19, Carlisle Mitchell. Number 20, Daiso Horikoshi. Number 21, Dylan DeBroiker. Number 22, Fitch Arboleda. Number 23, Simone Rota. Number 25, Michael Louis Casas. Number 27, Sherlar Pelonco. Number 44, Odi Benzi. As well as Yu Hoshide, Rolando Caballero Jr., Josh Castello, Vanessa Castello, Eunice Marijuana, Francis Bautista Jr., and Paul Antoine Tolentino. Copa Paulino Alcantara 2021 FC-Iloilo.
Pilipinas, your champions of the Copa Paulino Alcantara Kaya FC Iloilo. They last won it in 2018, have been starved for a trophy since then, and finally they have their hands on one. And hopefully more in the future for this storied Filipino club. They represented us well in the Champions League. And now they can say that they're champions once again. And rightfully so, with the dominance that they showed here in the Copa Paulino Alcantara, Darren.
Well, they were most certainly the team to beat. They started in great fashion. They then went on to score plenty of goals in that game against Manjola. They scraped through against Cebu, but they come back into this final, regrouped. They looked professional, they looked organised, and they just kept it nice and simple, and they created the chances they needed to be standing in front of us as champions. Deservedly so. It's great to see Kaya building on their history, on their reputation, and apart from all of that, playing some fantastic football along the way.
It was short but sweet. Thank you for joining us in this journey in the Copa Paulino Alcantara. To all of the crew that came here to Carmona, Cavite on a nightly basis to make sure the broadcast would be as world class as we possibly could make it. Thank you very much to all the hardworking men and women and our partners at One Sports and Signal TV. Salamat po sa inyong lahat. And for those fans who were starved for football locally for months and months, we're happy to have you back. And hopefully, not a long wait again for the next time we see Philippine football kick off once more. Thank you very much for joining us here tonight. Ako po si Paulo Del Rosario alongside Darren Hartman. Have a great night.
There's an opportunity here, and we've got our first goal of the match. Leaves it to Ramsey to make it 3-0.
of the Mac. Get up what it is, what it does, what it is, what it isn't. Looking for a better way to get up out of bed instead of getting on the internet and checking a new hit. Me get up, first shot, come strut walking. A little bit of humble, a little bit of cautious. Somewhere between like Rocky and Cosby's for the game. Nope, nope, y'all can't copy yet. Bad, moonwalking in this here is our party. My posse's been on Broadway, and we did it all way. Pro music, I shed my skin and put my bones into everything I record to it. And yeah, I'm on. Let that stage light go and shine on down. Got that Bob Barker suit game and Plinko in my style. Money, stay on my craft and stick around for those pounds. But I do that to pass the torch and put on for my town. Trust me, I'm my INDEPENDENT. This shit hustling. Chasing dreams since I was 14 with the 4-track bustin'. Halfway across that city with the back crush shit. Labels out here, now they can't tell me nothing. We give that to the people, spread it across the country. Labels out here, now they can't tell me nothing. We give it to the people, spread it across the country.
Here we go back, this is the moment, tonight is the night. We'll fight till it's over, so we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us. Like the ceiling can't hold us. Here we go back, this is the moment, tonight is the night. We'll fight till it's over, so we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us. Like the ceiling can't hold us.
Now, can I kick it? Thank you, yeah. I'm so damn grateful. I grew up really wanna go fronts, but that's what you get when Wu-Tang raised you. Y'all can't stop me. Go hard like I got an 808 in my heartbeat. And I'm eating at the beat like it gave a little speed to a great white shark on shark. We rock. Time to go all gone. Deuces goodbye. I got a world to see. My girl, she wanna see Rome. See, so make you a believer. Nah, I never ever did it for a throne. That validation comes from giving it back to the people. Now, sing the song and it goes like, raise those hands. This is our party. We came here to live life like nobody was watching. I got my city right behind me. If I fall, they got me. Learn from that failure, gain humility, and then we keep marching. I
And we
said,
go back, this is the moment, tonight is the night. We'll fight till it's over, so we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us. Like the ceiling can't hold us. Go back, this is the moment, tonight is the night. We'll fight till it's over, so we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us. Like the ceiling can't hold us.
and all my people say, that's right. And all my people say, and all my people say,
And we go back, this is the moment.
There's an opportunity here, and we've got our first goal of the match.